Pesticides. How dangerous are they to humans, wildlife, and the Australian environment? Pesticides are a substance used for destroying insects or other organisms harmful to cultivated plants or to animals. Pesticides are chemicals used to control unwanted species such as rodents, mosquitoes, fleas, flies and midges, bedbugs, and termites. All of these, if not controlled, would result in overpopulation and have a detrimental effect on humans and our environment. So what's the problem with pesticides? The problem with pesticides is that they contain toxic chemicals that are released into our airways. They are sprayed onto our crops and food products to stop bug infestations. This means that we ingest these toxic chemicals. Pesticides are also found in cleaning products that are used in the home, schools, and workplace. The issues with pesticides is that overexposure to these toxic chemicals can cause serious health issues. So, what did I find out? There are many different forms of pesticides. There are 3 states in which a pesticide is used. Firstly, as a gas that is diffused over crops or plants, a liquid that can be sprayed, or a solid such as cockroach baits. There are various forms of pesticides that are used to eradicate different types of pests such as bacteria, mold, bugs, or rodents. One in particular is genetically modified organisms. When an organism is genetically modified, it has its genetic makeup scientifically altered so that it is more resistant to the diseases that may be present in crops. All of these forms of pesticides aim to eradicate and manage pests. However, not all of them utilize toxic chemicals. Baits and lures are physical pesticides that trap the pests rather than use chemical poisoning. Because of the health risks associated with pesticides and the toxic chemicals they contain, there are strict government policies and regulations regarding to the use of pesticides in public spaces, schools, and workplaces. Agencies such as the Environmental Protection Agency of New South Wales and the Department of Health for Western Australia have acts that outline the requirements for areas such as mandatory training, occupational health and safety, risk management, the labelling of chemicals and pesticides, and waste management. So how does this affect me and you? A picture is worth 1,000 words. If it's not safe to breathe, then how is it safe to eat? Pesticides and the toxic chemicals they contain have been linked to a variety of human health hazards. Some short-term effects include headaches, nausea, dizziness, skin irritations, and vision impairments. Long-term effects have been known to include cancer, disruptions to the endocrine and reproductive system, and birth defects. Pesticides are also used in a variety of settings such as schools or home. Bug sprays are often released into our homes or schools and cover our clothes, chairs, tables, books, writing instrument, or even our cooking or eating utensils. When a child puts a toy or pencil in their mouth, they are ingesting all of these toxic chemicals. However, it is not just humans that can suffer from exposure to pesticides. Our furry friends are also at great risk of pesticide poisoning as they may ingest other animals or plants that may have been poisoned. So, what can we do about it? The fact of life is that we need pesticides in order to control our unwanted pests, but we do not need to ingest all of these toxic chemicals. Actions that can reduce overexposure to chemicals include stricter laws on the use of pesticides on our food and in particular the cleaning processes once they have been grown. Creating an awareness of the effects of pesticides on humans, animals and the environment, and more advertising surrounding the use of pesticides. After all, cigarette packages have warnings. Why shouldn't our food products that contain pesticides? Substituting chemicals for more natural repellents where applicable, and more protection for farm workers and those heavily exposed to pesticides. Individual awareness, government policies, and greater advertising are crucial to help minimise the damaging effects of pesticides on humans, animals, and our environment.